Hello friends, today I'm going to take you along with me while I do a number of things. I'm sorry about the scratching noises, but I have lots of tins down below here, which are these little ones here. I went out and bought hundreds of them, but I thought, look, maybe I'm going to take you along. I'll show you out the back in my other area where I actually do keep lots of the stock. So basically where we are talking right now, this is where I actually make everything now. And then I do have a massive stock room, which is basically just a big shed on my property. And then of course I have the shop, which is at the front, and that used to be the single car garage. So I always think that I'm one of those people that always thinks outside the box, and I think, how can I actually do this? So, and it is so cold in Melbourne at the moment. I mean, I have got this jumper on, so I'm literally gone from the last video wearing a t-shirt to wearing a jumper because the rain has set in and parts of Australia are flooded, so which isn't very good, but luckily where I am it's not flooded. Now, I thought, look, let's talk a little about my candle making and also, where we're doing everything. Now, look, I feel like I'm kind of everywhere at the moment, and sometimes, it's a little overwhelming doing all the things that I do, but I do love it. So anyway, today I thought, look, while I'm doing lots of different things, we're going to have a chat about it. I'm going to show you a few things that I do because lots of you tell me you love the behind the scenes and just to see what I'm up to. I always think it's quite boring, and I don't want to bore you, but lots of you say you actually quite enjoy it. So that's great. If you enjoy it, I'll take you along for the ride. So today I have actually made this candle, or yesterday I made it. I actually wanted to do one for TikTok. I had some of these jars. I'm always a bit cautious when they're really thin jars to use, but these are a candle jar. And then I thought to myself, look, I'm going to go back and do some of these, but you wouldn't believe it. I go back to go and do these, I test it, and then I go to the site and they're sold out. I'm like, oh my goodness, no. So, it just happens to me. So I've spent a lot of time today looking and sourcing for some new jars. So I'll show you a couple of them that I'm thinking about doing, and then I'll show you my new packaging that is going to be printed, and I'm very excited about that, but I'm also extremely nervous about investing such a high amount of money. But anyway, I'll show you what we're doing. I mean, this one does smell delish. I have made a vanilla and rose, and it's just gorgeous. So anyway, it's not looking too beautiful, is it, on top? But that doesn't matter. I will use this myself inside the home because it is 450 grams of wax. So I don't want to waste that, but it will not go to waste. We'll use it, then I'll clean out the jar and use it as a pencil jar or something. Anyway, but let's go and I'll show you where I keep everything out. Like I said, in the shed in the back. So friends, you'll be able to see this is my yard. It is freezing cold, and these are the stepping stones that we've just created to go to this shed out the back. And lots of I keep it real. I mean, we've bought this old property, we've been doing it up, and like I said, it's raining and just not very nice at all. But I'm going to take you into this big shed out the back, and then you can see where I actually keep everything. It's nothing glamorous, my friends, I promise you it's not, but we'll get there. So anyway, let's go inside and I'll show you. Now we are inside here, and this is where I keep lots of things. I don't work in here anymore, but if you watch some of my original videos, this is literally where I started making things. Well, actually I started in my kitchen, and then my husband got sick of that, so then I decided to go into this shed, which is really like an old granny flat, but we sort of put new flooring down, nothing expensive. It was the cheapest floor we could get. We did it ourselves, and anyway, and now in here, this is where I keep everything. So you can see all the candle jars. If I find something on sale, I will buy them. All of the, the cardboard at the top here, and we did put extra lights in there, so hopefully you can see that. And I'm sorry if I'm moving the camera because I know that's annoying. If I make jars, which some of them I make, I just store them here until I decide to do the next lot. So there are a lot of jars sitting here. And then sadly, this is the only soap I have left. The rest of it is actually in the shop, but I promise to show you. And then of course these are the melt sort of containers, and just my soap container. Oh, and I'll show you down here. So down here as well, these are more and more you know, just things that I'm going to obviously use. And you know, and look, most of it is in the other rooms, but it is good out here just for me to be able to stock everything and keep it in here. So yeah, so anyway, I thought, look, I will show you, and I'll give you a sneak peek. These are my new ones for Christmas. Aren't they cute? So I did actually just design these ones. I actually am doing a video on these as well. Now, the mold for these was given to me from Nicole Molds. So they actually did do a collaboration with me, which was really nice. And so they actually sent me the mold for free. I didn't pay for that, along with, you know, some things to make it. So there is a video coming out on that. I promise it's coming out soon, but they are really absolutely darling. I love them. And their particular product, which is called Buwanite. It's basically, I guess, a version of jasminite. That's what it reminds me of, but it's really, really white. So it's probably the whitest one I've seen. So if you love white, that's definitely the one to go. And I am testing one of their products at the moment, which is a beautiful natural wax. So that's what we're doing with that. And of course, I have a few extra things, but I feel like I just have so much going on that, you know, things are in every single room, which is a little sad, isn't it? I know, but it's just the way it has to roll. So, and these ones are going to be my guest soaps. So I am getting molds of these ones done at the moment. These ones here are my little baby soaps. Now, if you're using a recipe with high shea or high olive oil, often you are going to get that sort of frosting look on top. I honestly never worry about it. I just leave it, because after someone uses it once, it's going to come off. It doesn't affect the bar. It's nothing to do with that. It's just usually the heat contained, and some oils heat up more than others. So if you can kind of see that. But it is a beautiful soap. So I've already tested a few of those for myself. So like I said, anyway, that's it for here. I mean, you don't want to stay in here too long. It's nothing too exciting, is it? And that's why I said, but you kind of need room as you go along to put all of these things and to find out what are you actually going to do. So let's go into the shop, and I will show you a little in there. So now here we are actually in my backyard, and I'll show you my cute little tree. Doesn't it look lovely? This is the oak tree, and if you can see these little things hanging down, it was Easter, and of course I did an Easter hunt for my beautiful little grandchildren, and my children who are in their 20s and 30s still want an Easter hunt. So that's a little funny, isn't it? And these are walnuts on the ground. We have a walnut tree which is just besides our house. So this is, you know, look, this is not the pretty side, but you know, look, as I tell you what, I like to keep this real. We don't lie here. You know, everyone probably thinks I live in some fancy place, but I definitely do not. But, you know, it's a work in progress, isn't it, friends? We've just got to be grateful for what we have. So this is a little dungeon where we've got all of the supplies that we make everything with, and the old air conditioners. And now look, this is the door to my shop. Now, no one be shocked, but it doesn't look beautiful, and that's why I have a fake door. So I'm going to show you. Now, if you can see here, this is the old door. Doesn't it look terrible? Because this house is almost 80 years old. And of course, here is the beautiful pink door with the gold handle that my husband made. And we are going through the back entrance because there is also a front entrance, and that's obviously where people would come when they come in. So, and this is basically what we're going into. So isn't it funny how sometimes perception can be different to what things are? And this is the thing that I say, you know, sometimes on Instagram, YouTube, all of these things, people show the pretty side. They're not showing the realistic side of everything. They're not showing how everything really works. And look, can I tell you, there are days that I feel really overwhelmed, days that I think, God, am I even good enough to do this? Look, anyone feels that way. And if you don't, you're not human. So You know, I have these days of thinking, wow, I'm not doing good enough. I wish I could do more. So many of those things. And, you know, it's sad to say, but it's the truth. And you know that, you know, I try and keep it real here. I try and, you know, just be honest and kind of show you what I really actually do. And, you know, it's not easy, friends. It really isn't. And I'm giving you a close-up look of some of the soaps that are sitting here. These are curing. They're not ready yet. There's some that, well, some of them are, but I like to keep them a bit longer. If somebody took most of these now, they'd be fine. But for me, I just like to keep them several months curing. The longer you keep them, the harder the bar gets and the better they get. And these ones here, if you can see this shape, I love that shape. That was my favorite shape, except for I don't love the mold, which was a shame because I would have really preferred to keep it to that particular mold, but that mold, it just doesn't go well. So anyway, I've invested a few $100s on a bigger mold. So anyway, going forward, they're all going to be that size. So I just have to suck it up and realize that's just what's going to happen. And then of course I have some that I did for YouTube. So a lot of these ones will just go on sale. So I am getting back to getting lots of them because a lot of these ones here are getting really low. I only have 2 goat's milk soap. These particular goat's milk have been curing for 1.5 years. And sometimes having something that's been curing for a long time is much better, but I only have 2 left now anyway. So they've been there for a while, and a couple at the back. I only have 2 of that one. So once these ones all go, then that's going to be it. And then we will move to our new ones. Now I am having some boxes made, so I'll show you, I'll give you a bit of a sneak peek about the box that we're going to be making. And then these are some of my, of course, stone jars, but we're going to have a talk about that in a second. So let me get some things and I will come back. All right, friends, I am back. So we do have our particular soap here. All these soaps are about that. So they're actually 2.9 centimeters across. And anyway, and so then I got these boxes. This is a sample. This is not the real box. I just printed this out myself. The printer sent it to me so that I could print it. It's always good to print it before you go to print in case it's wrong. And you can see inside there, it fits in there pretty well. And I made it an extra centimeter tall just in case it doesn't fit, because I would actually cry if I got it and it didn't. So that's what it looks like, friends. But I have changed it. So I've changed it slightly because this is the thing. Look, let's talk about this because, you know, look, the last few days, I've had a really tough time the last few days just within myself. And I know we don't talk about these things, but, you know, business is really hard. It is so hard. It's not easy at all. And that's the problem, you know. Often we see everything on Instagram and we think, oh, they're doing so well and so on. And, you know, we all show the pretty things because no one really wants to see, you know, a negative Nancy, do they, so to speak? You know, they don't want to see me be negative. But there's also a time where you need to kind of talk about that because it does help each other when we talk about, you know, that it's not easy. It's a really hard gig doing your own business. And I'm going to be honest, it's not for everyone. There's some people that just can't cope with the, you know, the feeling of being extremely overwhelmed, the feeling of being the pressure of you have to earn money, you have to, you know, sell things, you have to keep getting followers and gaining traction. All of those things are really hard. And so if you feel that you mentally can't cope with that, then that's okay. Maybe it's not for you. And sometimes it's not for me and sometimes not for you. It's a really hard gig, like I said. But if you feel that you love it, then don't give up because you don't know. But as I said, the last couple weeks, really the last week in particular, I've been feeling so flat, you know, and look, and the thing is, I have YouTube and I also have Patreon, and I've had a number of people reach out and say, are you not doing videos anymore? I've been looking for your videos. And I said, you know, oh, I am doing them. I'm just, you know, I had a little break, I guess, after the conference because some days I was in my shop 7 days a week filming, and even though you see videos, there are times that I film it and I delete it because I don't like the video or I feel that it's not good enough, and then I'll delete it and get rid of it. So these are the really hard things that nobody sees behind the scenes, or the mistakes I make, or sometimes even my intro on a video might be 10, 20, 30 takes on just talking on it, because you know, if somebody or my daughters play music in the background, I have to remove that, you know, or I have to start again if they walk in with a radio on or they're singing or something, because they could be it could be a copyright issue. So there's so many things. Or if somebody swears in the background, or I don't know, on a television show there's a swear word or something, I'm like, oh, I have to get rid of that because of the ads on YouTube. So it's really tricky. And it's extremely time consuming doing YouTube and Patreon. Now, I don't want to say that as a negative, because I am extremely, and I really am really, really grateful, because YouTube has literally given me a job so that I didn't have to go and work for another boss, because I can't stand working for you know, those bosses that just love to, I don't know, I call them the weenie with a clipboard, you know, they're the ones that like to tell you off to make you feel bad at your job, you know. So, I mean, it has definitely given me a job, as has Patreon and the conference, you know, like everybody that supports me on that. I really and truly am grateful. And my goal is in 2026, I'm hoping, and I'm saving at the moment, to hopefully come to America to one of the conferences in the US. So my friend Kat and myself have been talking about this. So anyway, that's in the plans. I mean, who knows what will happen. Hopefully I can save enough money by then, because obviously I live on this wage as well. So if you want to join me on Patreon, of course, go over there and you can join me. And I'm pretty casual over there. Look, even though, you know, I do give posts and videos and things like that, I don't go on there, you know, and force myself to do things all the time on there. I make sure I sort of do it when I'm in the mood and happy enough to, you know, of course, go on there. But a lot of my day, honestly, is in here making labels. I probably spend 80% of my day on the computer, and it's just one of those things. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of my, you know, of what it is. And now look, I've got to show you this, friends. When you see my computer, you're going to go, oh my goodness, that is terrible. My computer broke. 2 of my computers broke, which they were all secondhand ones. Then my daughter, she dropped this computer on the ground, had a crack in the corner of the screen. So it was never perfect, but I thought I'll take it because my other ones had been broken. Anyway, with this particular screen, it's got a massive crack. I really can't afford to get a new one. It's got a crack down, and now you will see there's a line in the middle. And my daughter said, oh my goodness, Mum, I can't believe you're using that to make labels. So this is where we keep it real, friends, and I'm going to show you. So let's bring the camera around to that side. Now, so this is my computer, friends, and let me just log in. So I'm going to log in. Now, can you see that big black line here in the center? That's where it's broken. And can you see the crack in the corner? That's what I'm telling you, everyone. You know, I'm trying to keep this real, because I don't want all of you to think that everyone on YouTube, you know, earns $10,000 a month. We don't. A lot of us earn under $1,000 a month on YouTube. So, you know, obviously there's other things where we do earn money, you know, like Patreon helps, and then people see us on YouTube and they buy our products and so on. But I honestly don't sell massive amounts of products. And you know, that's not me being a crybaby about it. It's just, you know, because I want people to understand that, you know, we still live just a normal life. A number of friends that I have that have channels often talk about this, because it is important for people to understand that we're just normal people, you know, we're not doing anything too smancy. Now, I hope you can see, because I'm not doing the screen recording, I'm just holding the camera at the screen. Now, if you can kind of see this is my new soap labels, and I'm going to go into the other one. Let me just go back into this screen and I'll show you. And as I said, I sit here all day. So I have a few. These are my new ones that are coming out. So this one, which is Hey Lovely, shea, so gentle. Now that is the baby one. So the baby soap, because, and do you like, I hope you like this. Can you see the circle? My daughter Pearl actually designed each one of these little flowers. I've joined them all together to make a circle. So that way I will own the rights to these. And if I get up nice and close, can you see the little bumblebee? Can you see him just here? My daughter drew that one as well. And so then that's why I've used these ones on here. So these are the new ones that I'm going to be getting boxes for. I'm extremely nervous because it's thousands of dollars. And I'm probably going to honestly break them up into getting 3 at a time, because I just can't afford the amount of money that it would cost to get so many. And that's the hardest thing, you know, like it really is. If you have money, you can do this so easy. But, you know, sometimes, look, reality's hits us in the face, doesn't it? So, you know, I hate to say that, but it's true. So these are the ones that I've done at the moment. And then, of course, there's some pictures of my soap. So I hope that you've enjoyed seeing that little bit. And so, honestly, if I go back to my computer, if you see this, these are all designs that I make. And half of them I never use. I just design them and, you know, and think, am I going to use them or not? And then this particular one here, this is one that I designed with AI. And so this is like just like a Christmas one. So I might use that for a poster. I don't know. A postcard, sorry, near Christmas time. But it does look kind of pretty, doesn't it? What you can do with AI, and you just type in what you want to see on the screen. I love that. But anyway, that is a little about that. So I hope, like I said, you've enjoyed the day, and we'll get off that computer. And of course, I have to go and fix my wall up again, because you probably can see the tiny little bunnies in my flower wall, and Easter has gone. So I need to take them out, and it will come back to a normal flower wall until Mother's Day. And maybe I'll put some images of mums or something on it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that one yet, but today, my daughter has her friends staying over, so they're both nearly 16. So I'll have to go inside, make something delish for those girls for dinner. But like I said, I really wanted to do a video keeping it real, so that you all understand that, you know, when you're feeling really low, overwhelmed, you know, everyone feels like that, no matter what level we're all at. So it is really important just to give yourself a pat on the back and say, you know, you're doing a really good job, because many other people would not take the risk or would not do the amount of work that you're doing for this, and you just never know where it's going to turn up. So, you know, before you know it, you may be earning 100,000 or more a year. So I hope so. Anyway, I hope, like I said, this has been a little bit about behind the scenes, hasn't it? Just a little chatty video. And I'm going to see you lovely friends on my next video. Bye, friends.